Welcome to the 2023 Akron Women's Soccer Media Day. Coach, you've been back a couple days. Just talk about the excitement of getting back on the field for year two for you.
Oh, it's been great. We've really been looking forward to preseason for the last 3 or 4 months. Our returners made huge strides in the spring and really bought into the culture and the expectations of the program. We added 13 new players to the mix who all came in fit, ready to compete, and excited about what we're doing here. So it's been a great couple of days to start.
Now, you hit the pitch for the first time the other day in practice, and you kind of remarked about how the difference between year one and year two, even just from the fitness standpoint. Just talk about that heading into the camp as you have an exhibition next week.
Yeah. So last year during our fitness test, we only had 2 players pass it, and this year we came in and crushed it. One of our incoming first years set a new program standard at 17.6, which, if you know the yo-yo, it's pretty extensive. But everybody came in ready to play, and then we trained after that, and people were still flying up and down the sidelines and getting stuck into tackles and just working really, really hard. So we're able to start at a new point this year in terms of our teaching versus worrying about getting fit and coming together. We're now already 10 steps ahead in the teaching aspect of the game, so it's been great so far.
Talk a little bit about, you've got kind of an experienced core of upperclassmen that have come back. What does that mean for your program, especially as you bring in this group of newcomers?
Our returners are going to play a huge role in our program on and off the field. They've done a phenomenal job of integrating the new players even prior to arriving on campus. They were connected with them throughout the spring, over the summer. They set up their own preseason trip to work on the team bonding and the culture aspect. So they've really embodied what's important in this program. Our culture being positive, supportive, uplifting, but also competitive. And so they were mentioning to each other and to our coaching staff the other day that they didn't feel as though there were new players in our program because they'd gotten to know each other so well. And that speaks volumes to what our upperclassmen are doing for our program at this point. And then on the field, they're setting the standard. They're making sure that they're holding each other accountable to the goals that we've set forth, to the standards that we've put in place for our program, and to what the expectations are.
Talk about the difference between this year two coming in and having the full spring and everything to acclimate yourself to the team versus coming in, basically 3 weeks before the season starts a year ago.
I think last year we spent a lot of time playing catch-up, trying to figure out how things on the campus worked, things in the conference worked, working from behind in terms of scheduling travel and meals, and just a huge learning curve for our staff as well as our players. And here we're coming in where we have all of that set in motion already, and so we really get to focus on the coaching aspect, the playing aspect, and just the season in general. I think that's going to make a huge difference in the results on the field and just in terms of the amount of time we're able to put into our players and our program.
Coach, from year one to year two, what are some of the biggest areas you look for improvement?
Obviously, a win-loss record. I think we're in a good position to actually put some wins on the board this year, and some important wins. We're also just looking for the overall level of our program to be higher, making sure that we have more competition within the program, that we're able to play with more players on the field. Just setting the standards so that recruits want to be here, players want to come to Akron and be a part of what we're building.
Kind of with the building aspect, your non-conference schedule, getting the likes of Boston College to come to Akron, ACC school, Dayton, your alma mater, to come here and play. How big will that ultimately help you in the recruiting factor, getting those type of teams to come here?
So my mentality as a coach and a player has always been, if you want to be the best, you have to play the best. So we're hoping to improve our non-conference toughness of schedule as we go. Obviously, I have some good relationships with some coaches across the country, Dayton being my alma mater. Erica and I have a good relationship, and he knows it's going to be a good competitive match. He's one of the people that even supported me for this position. So I built some good relationships with some good coaches, and I think it's just a great opportunity for us to go out and start proving ourselves against better competition as we go.
Coach, in terms of roster, and who should the fans and everyone look out for this year who make big impact for our program this year?
It's always one of my least favorite questions. Honestly, what I think is great and kind of unique about our program this year is we're actually going to have depth in every area of the field. And so when there's not 1 or 2 people to look out for, you're harder to play against. I think we'll be able to mix and match our lineup. We'll be able to rotate players in and out of the starting lineup, bring different people on, as subs. And so I hope that that's something that makes us dangerous, something that is hard to defend, hard to prepare for.
Coach, what are you doing for team bonding with the team this year?
So they set it up themselves. They did a preseason trip. They all went down to Hocking Hills. They rented a 20-bedroom house and spent 3 or 4 days out in the wilderness, cooking meals together, going on hikes, doing some fitness, really getting to know each other and spending some time together. We'll do some different activities coming up, but since we haven't done any of them yet, I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Coach, you were born and raised here in this area. What do you want the fans to know about Akron Soccer, and your program, and what it means to the community?
Akron is a hidden gem. It's a place that 25 years ago when I went through the recruiting process, it was a different institution. And now it's a place that there's a lot of pride that should come from being a Zip or being part of the Zips programs. The campus community is amazing. The support staff and the staff that we work with are just incredible people who are here to support our athletes, here to support our staff. The environment, the location, there's just so much that this campus has to offer that I don't think people are aware of. So once you get on campus, you can see our amazing facilities. We have one of the best soccer pitches in the country, and we're just Akron, as you would say. So I just think it's a hidden gem that people need to come out and see all the awesome things we have to offer.